What's up, gamers? A couple of weeks ago, I made a video about the announcement of Anbernic's new retro device, the RG35XX Plus. I know a lot of us are really excited about this device, and like many of you who watched that video, I set an alarm, got up in the middle of the night to pre-order mine so that I could start playing it and review it. And I updated you on my community page to say, hey, mine is finally shipped, it's on the way. That was about 4 days ago. The next day, a listing for the RG35XX Plus shows up on Amazon Prime, says it can be here in 3 days. So like any rational human being, I ordered a second one so that I could start my review. Now, I just worked the last 8 days straight, and I just got off a 12-hour shift at work, and I come home, and what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature package, contents unclear. Did you like that? I was thinking about starting a rap career. Maybe get like a medallion. Oh boy. I need a day off. And it's the Plus. It's in the box here. It came a day early. I don't even know how. I don't know how Amazon drop shippers or whatever got a hold of it, but now it's here. So I'm ready to unbox it, compare it a little bit to the original. And as we're doing that, I hope you'll consider subscribing and sticking around for more gaming news and reviews and content of all kinds. Let's get into it. Alright, so here we go. You can see they really put a lot of creativity into this box. It's very different from the original box because the original one was white, and this one is like a yellowy, orange, a yellowish tan color of some kind. It doesn't look the same on the camera as it does to my eyes in real life. But anyway, the RG35XX Plus, you can see it right there with a picture on it. There's not much else to this box other than on the side covered with a sticker, they have the colors, and they check which one it is in the box. And here we go. Open it right up. Of course, we're going to see right here on top the device in this box, and underneath here you're going to have a screen protector, instructions, and wipes, and sometimes the SD card is under there. It doesn't look like it there in this model. It's probably already in the device. This is going to be your charging cable. It's a USB-A to USB-C cable. Here we go. Oh boy, I'm excited. Wow. Yeah, okay, all right. I like the buttons. I like the color on the buttons, actually. They feel wonderful. The D-pad's different than the original one, but it feels really good too. I think I like how these feel better. One of my big complaints about the original was this function button, the menu button, was really loose, and they have tightened it up. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but the screen is kind of raised and rounded just a little bit, and it looks really nice. It looks really slick. On the left side, we have the volume rocker, and they do have it indented this time. It kind of helps you distinguish between up and down a little bit, or where the edges are, maybe. HDMI port on the top. Power reset button on the side. We have one SD card right here that's going to have the operating system and the games on it. I did not get the version that comes with the extra SD card with even more games because I didn't think I needed that. Audio out on the bottom, as well as your charging port right down here. And that's pretty much it for the buttons, except on the back here, you can see they now have these angled shoulder buttons, and I like it. It feels really good. I heard an interview with Black Seraph, and he was saying that he had already tried this out, and there were a lot fewer accidental presses on these because of the angle, and because, well, here, I got my original one right here. If you can see, this button kind of comes past the edge of this ridge, so when you set this down on a table or whatever, you can press these buttons. The buttons hit the table before this back part does. This is not like that. They are cut off before they get to the ridge. And with them angled, he was just explaining that there's a lot fewer accidental presses. And I like that change. Honestly, I like every change, except for I don't think I like this volume button as well. I can't feel it. It's flush. And that's why they had to indent it, because you wouldn't be able to feel it otherwise. But that's just a minor thing. That's not a big deal. Let's turn it on and see what happens here. It looks like there's smaller bezels. I think that might just be an optical illusion because it's black all the way around instead of gray like it is here. It's literally the same height. It is thicker. I don't know if it's thicker on top, but it's definitely thicker on the bottom, which actually might not be a bad thing because it might make it more comfortable to hold. Oh yeah. So this is a very, very similar to the original stock OS that came on this one. Let's see here. We do have the weird numbering of the ROMs. We have the screenshots again, and I bet that stops at some point, probably around 100. Oh, no, past 100. It's very interesting. I kind of like how the stock OS is set up, because it does have this very simple, you're going through, this is just GBA games right now, but if you just hit the start button on any of these, it puts it in your favorites folder. So you could pick, you know, however many games you want to put in your favorites and just get to those a lot quicker than having to scroll through all of these. It also has a search function on the main menu, and you can type in whatever keyword you want, and it'll pull up all the games. Like you could type in Star Wars, and it'll pull up all the Star Wars games. All of these GBA games have a screenshot with the box art and a screenshot of the game, and actually, I believe that they are in alphabetical order, except for, well, yeah, actually, because these, okay, the first two are actually 007, Everything or Nothing, and 007 Nightfire. So these are actually in alphabetical order this time instead of random, just a random order, which they were last time. That is a great change. I wonder if all of the collections are like that or just the GBA. Yeah, they don't have the, weirdly don't have the numbers. This one's called 720 degrees. They don't have 720, they just say degrees. So that is bizarre. This one just says Japan. It's the Japanese ROM of the 1942 game. So it weirdly doesn't say 1942. And I don't know if that's because they didn't want to confuse that number with these other numbers, or maybe it messed up the order. So that's a little odd, but you know, it's okay. Here's my play history. Not really, I haven't played anything yet. But there's your favorites folder, your retro art games. So they have it divided up like this too, where you can see the controller or the console itself and see the games that are in that, like Game Boy. There's all your Game Boy games. 403 Game Boy games, 238 PC Engine games. We got 41 games from the Neo Geo Pocket. That's a pretty cool system. Nintendo DS. We have 6 games from the Nintendo DS. The Amazing Spider-Man, Need for Speed Underground, Resident Evil game, Animal Crossing. Got the Pokemini on here. That's interesting. Virtual Boy. Dreamcast gets you 13 ROMs for Dreamcast. You got Crazy Taxi 1 and 2 on there. House of the Dead 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Let's try that. Let's just see what happens here. I'm terrible at fighting games. Turn that volume down. I like this, the addition of the volume there. That's nice. Cable, Venom. Turn this down just a little bit more. Who should we be here? Spider-Man, Wolverine. Just be Wolverine. Okay, let's go. No! I have no idea what I'm doing. Obviously. I'm just button mashing. Okay. Bam. Okay. Yes. No! Haha! How did I switch characters? I don't even know how I did that. How is this guy not defeated yet? Oh, yes. What? Okay, so, I mean, that sounds good. I don't hear any, like, crackling in the audio. I don't see any slowdown. And that's a Dreamcast game. Looks fantastic on here. Honestly. Power Stone 1 and 2. I think they Soul Calibur, Virtua Tennis. The Dreamcast selection is small, but those are some good games. PSP, we've got 9 games for PSP, Castlevania, Bomberman, Mega Man, Metal Slug, Ridge Racer, Tekken, a couple of Tekken games. Not the greatest selection of PSP games, but you can always add more of your own. I'll try this Nintendo DS real quick. Let's try Spider-Man again. Should have known sneaking into Oscorp after hours was a bad idea. Yeah, you should have known, Spider-Man. Oh my goodness. Just let me play.
Hold up and press A after jumping to WebZip.
Oh my goodness. Get out of here. Spider-Man, thank goodness you're here. Okay. Alistair Smythe. Just let me play. Mr. Smythe, I just want to beat up some bad guys. Alright, so Nintendo DS works really well, actually. I'm actually really surprised that there's no detectable slowdown of any kind. All right, just a couple other things. You know, in your settings, you've got an I/O test. You can test all your diagonals and stuff, all your buttons, change your date and time. You can look at your Bluetooth settings. You can look at your network settings, change your backgrounds, your icon settings, clear out your history. So this looks great. Honestly, this feels like an improvement. I think the plastic, oh no, the plastic feels definitely different. It's more, it has a better grip to it somehow than this one does, and I already thought this one felt really great. As far as like cosmetic differences, honestly, the biggest differences here between these two is that this Start and Select has more of an angle to it. The menu button is up higher, and I don't know, these face buttons are probably, I guess they're the same size. I think that the letter being in the middle here versus on the faceplate here is throwing me off because it almost looks bigger, but I think they're the same. I don't know how well you can tell on camera, but the D-pad is definitely more rounded around the corners. But other than that, it feels about the same size. It might just not be broken in yet because I've played this quite a lot, but it feels a little more stiff. After I play it for a while, it'll probably loosen up. All in all, I can't wait to put some mileage on this thing so I can bring you a full review. This looks fantastic. I like the black, the translucent black. The original one I ordered was the white version, and so I can't wait to see that one too. The gray version, like this one, the button labels are still on the faceplate. They're not on the buttons themselves, but the white and black, translucent black versions have the buttons labeled on the actual buttons. The 35XX Plus is just a little bit thicker than the original. It feels great in the hand. I mean, this is just awesome. This is great. I love it. So there you have it, the RG35XX Plus. It already feels a lot faster than the original, just zipping through those menus a little faster, loading up those ROMs. I have played, I'll show you in the full review, but I've played Nintendo DS on here, and this is a lot faster, a lot more fluid, just seemed to handle those dual screens a lot easier than the original one did. But that about does it for this initial impression and unboxing. Hey, I appreciate you watching. I know there's a million other things you could watch and you chose to click on this. Thank you so much. I hope that you'll stick around. Please subscribe for more and stay kind and encouraging out there. We'll catch you on the flippity flip.